ball. First drill that we'll be doing is glove by your front leg, and the ball you're going to get in a good grip, and you're going to start just behind here, and all you're going to do is just sort of flick it into your glove and just release it. So what you want to do is you want to have it rolling off of the fingertips. You want to get the feeling of what is it like to release a pitch with good grip, with a good release and good spin. So just good grip, get set, flick it into your glove, and just kind of follow through to that shoulder a little bit. Good. So not in a hurry, just down here, not too high. Get set. There you go. So get it. Just take 1 or 2 seconds, pause, make sure that grip is really good, because right now your grip got a little loose there, right? So good grip. Get set. Into your glove, follow through to your shoulder. Okay? And don't go quite as hard, just a really smooth release, really smooth rotation off the, there you go. Yep, that's much better. Good. Good. Gerald Muizelaar, USA men's national team pitching coach. I did a video earlier this year and had a lot of good response. And with that, drew some attention from some younger pitchers that have taken an interest in the game. So we're here in Denmark, Wisconsin at Circle Tap, starting to work with some of these guys that showed interest, and just doing some follow-up work with them. Been good wide range. Some guys as young as 14 have been pitching for 6 weeks. Up to guys who've been at it for 4, 5, 6 years, and a wide range of different things that we've been working on. So it's been good, and hopefully we can continue to do this and continue to grow the sport and continue to get more U.S. men's pitching talent in the pool. So what we're trying to do here is when you're pitching, that would be home plate, that would be second base. If you draw a line between home plate and second base, you're going to draw a line and it's going to go right between your 2 feet and your 2 shoulders. So that's the direction you want to be when you're getting ready to release the ball. A lot of people think when you're pitching, you're here or coming beside your body like this, but you're actually rotated 90 degrees and you're coming through like this is the proper position. So this gets you one, good grip, also good release, and then it also gets you into the right position for your arm sort of passing through in front of your body. Okay, so do that 2 more times. And again, don't be in a hurry, get a good grip, nice smooth release. Okay, now just bring your arm up a little bit higher, just up over your shoulder. Make sure it's straight. You want to get that arm, elbow straight, wrist cocked back a little bit, and then same thing, just kind of nice and easy, not too hard. Follow through to that back or to the shoulder. Yep. Good. Okay, get the grip, make sure that's right. Good. Good. Okay, a couple more. And what's good about these is you don't need a catcher. You don't need a lot of space. You don't need a gym. You can do this in your own basement or garage or right on the front driveway or something like that. And they don't take a lot of time, but the thing is, it's not about getting through them quickly. It's about getting good grip, good position, straight arm, coming through, rolling off your fingertips. So give me 3 or 4 more of those. Good. Very good. Okay. All right. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get familiar. Has anybody ever taught you a K position? Okay. So what's the K position? Yep, exactly. So kind of a straight line between your back leg, up through your hip, through your shoulder. It's a straight line, like this. Now, it doesn't mean that your arm has to be directly overhead. It can be a little bit here or here, but generally speaking, when you're coming through this part of your motion, your weight is on top of that back leg. So that's what we're going to do now. Is same thing. We'll get to K, put your arm up, and then as you come down, just drop this glove to catch, and then you're going to same thing. Arm straight, back arm straight, good, and then follow through, release. Okay. So K, tap that front toe, make sure all the weight is on your back leg, even bend that back leg a little bit. Yep, just here. Good. Give me a little more bend in that back leg. Good. All right, straighten that back, straighten your pitching arm. Okay, so stop. What are you looking for? All the weight is on that back leg, a little bit of bend. Arm is straight, good grip. All right, so once you get there, boom. Okay, all right, get set. Weight is on that back leg, bent, pitching arm is straight, good grip on the ball, coming through. Good. So again, it's those 3 or 4 things each time you get set. Arm straight, weight stacked on this back leg, a little bit of bend. All right, so give me 3 or 4 more of those. All right, stop. What'd you not do? Nope, you stopped right here. You didn't follow through to this shoulder, okay? All right, so get set. Good. Good, very good. Okay. Perfect. How long did you say you've been pitching? 4 weeks? 6 weeks? All right, that's awesome. All right, so then after that, you kind of get to the K position. That's that's where you sort of partway through your motion where you want to get to. What I like to do is just to get the motion of your arm going around. You can also do the same thing. Point your glove straight out, point this arm at the plate, and then come around as well. So maybe just do a few of those. Okay. So pause when you get there. Get set. Pointing them at home plate. So wherever your catcher is, pointing them, coming around. Good. Okay, so one thing I'm noticing here that you'll want to focus a little bit, actually in all 3 steps of the drill, what's one thing that you've sort of done each time naturally? Yeah, you're naturally wanting to bend your elbow a little bit. And if it's bent a little bit here, I'm fine with that. But by the time you get to here, I'd like to get it straight because that's where you get your leverage from. You get your leverage with that straight arm coming back through this part of your motion. So each time doing these, take your time. Can be a little bent here, but by the time you get to the top, you're reaching up high, reaching far, and getting full leverage on the arm. Good. I'm just going to grab a quick drink of water, do about 5 more of those, and focusing on that back, on the pitching arm, staying nice and straight through the back. Not yet, no. Yeah, we might not even get to pitching, maybe a few at the end. No. Awesome. Okay. So the question is, how do you get here, right? We know this is where we want to get to. This is the position we want. If our catcher's there, we want to get here. Where I've already kind of said, all right, this is how we follow through. This is how we release the ball. Question is, how do you get to this position? Because you're not starting there. You're starting here. So how do you get from here to here? Is what we'll focus on next. So that we've sort of took the second half, the delivery part. Now we'll say, how do we get there? So what I want you to do is just focus on facing the catcher. What we want to look at is we want to have good weight balance. So you want to have, as you go to pitch, as you release, you're going to get all the weight on this leg. But to start, you want to have your weight back here. So if I was to draw, to have you right here, glove and ball aside, and I was to tell you to jump forward as far as you can, what would you do? So just put your glove and ball, actually set the glove and ball down on the ground. And if I was to say, all right, you can't take a running start, you're going to start from a stationary position, jump that way as far as you can, what would you do? Yeah, you'd bend your knees, right? Because from here to jump, that's really hard. You bend your knees, you probably bend your upper body, probably rock your arms a little bit and stuff, generate momentum to jump forward as far as you can. Well, that's the same thing we're going to do with the pitching motion. Is you're going to use your legs, you're going to transfer weight back and forth, you're going to use your arms to generate momentum to go forward. And the first part of that is get your feet at a good distance apart. You don't want to stretch back too far where you're over stretching, but you want to be sort of this distance, maybe a little bit further, comfortable. You don't want to be in a straight line where you're, kind of draw a line from home plate to second. It wouldn't go through both of your feet. You'd want to have them a little bit closer to shoulder width apart so that you're nice and balanced. So let's just start with that. So get into sort of that set position. Okay, yep, I think that looks good. Your feet are kind of shoulder width apart, which is good. You shouldn't feel off balance or wobbly at all, which you don't. Okay, so from there, let's weight on that back leg and get your weight transferred to the front leg. So just weight on the back. You can even do this. Yeah, you kind of already lifted your foot, but you can kind of tap your foot and say, all right, is all my weight on the back leg or do I have any on the front? So just start with your weight back and kind of your upper body back a little bit as well. Okay, you tap that foot, bend that back leg just a little bit more maybe. Okay, good. Now transfer forward. And with that, it's shoulders forward and get that weight over the front leg and the same thing. So to tap that back foot so that all of it's there. I go forward, upper body as well, not just your feet, upper body as well. Good, yep. So what you can do is, it's gonna feel really weird and probably even weirder when it's on camera, but what you wanna do is get that good position, start back, rock forward, rock back, rock forward. And all you're doing is how do you transfer that weight, front and back, and it's 3 parts. It's your feet, transferring weight from one foot to the next, bending that leg and bending your upper body over. So it's all 3 parts, feet, legs, and upper body. Okay, so that wasn't a great hitter, but it's similar with hitting, right? It's all that weight on the back leg, transferring to the front leg, trying to use the legs, because if you just swung with your arms, you never hit the ball anywhere. Using your legs, same thing with pitching. If you just throw with your arm, you're only going to get half as much as if you use your legs as well. So we'll go here, we'll do that a few more times. Back, forward, and it's upper body and legs. Okay, good. Exaggerate a couple for me, like way back and way forward. Good. Get way good. Yep. Back. Big bend at the waist. Big bend at the knees. Okay. So obviously in a game you're not doing that as exaggerated, but it gets you the body and your muscles the memory of feeling of what is it like to get over that front foot and getting your in a powerful position to go forward. Okay. So I've been talking a lot so far. All this making sense so far and kind of building on each other. Good. All right. So now this could be one of the more challenging, and sometimes it comes natural to people, but how do you then go from here to here, right? And for me, I think one of the keys is this right foot. As you go forward, you're gonna kind of think of a bug, squishing a bug, same thing. And I don't think they teach that with hitting, sort of the same thing, rotating that foot, same thing with pitching. You're here, as you go to drive, you rotate that foot to get to this position. So try that for me a couple times. Same thing, good balance. Weight back, weight forward, rotating it up here. Good. Okay, and we're not jumping right now or anything. It's just getting from there to here. Good. Okay, good balance. Weight back, over the front foot. Okay. Once you get a little more bend in that front leg and a little more of your upper body, okay, a bend and up, okay? Again, here, weight back, bend that back leg, forward, bend the front leg, and up. And this is, in my opinion, one of the hardest things for guys, or for anybody when they start pitching, is to generate power from the legs, but this part of the motion is where you generate the power from your legs, is at that beginning. Think of it like I don't know if you do track and field at all, but you get your starter's blocks. Your pitching rubber is your starting block, and you're looking to explode out of those blocks. Same thing with your motion here. This is where you generate the power from your legs. So again, here, bend the leg, upper body over, here, as you rotate that back foot. Okay, give me 5 more of those. That's fine. That's point 1, is get your balance. Good. Now you can use your arms a little more if you want. Like you can make a little loop. You can bring it sideways or something, because if you're trying to get power, you want to use your arms as well. That might help with timing. So I would just a little bit with your arms if you want, or it can be straight down. What could be from here straight out. It's sort of personal preference, but you can use your arms a little bit as well. All right, so go from there, set, and get to the K position with some legs. Okay. Good. Now I want a little more out of that right leg as you start to rotate. All right, so now we're going to do 5 and we're going to go hard. All right, so we're here, boom, like that. And whether you drag, whether you hop a little, but I want you to sort of work and push hard and get to that K position. Get weight over the back, push hard. Good. And right now you don't have to follow through and pitch the ball. I just want to get you to the K position and make sure that leg is stacked underneath. Okay. So stop at the top. Don't follow through. Good. Okay. Now do that with a little more leg, especially with that right leg. Okay. So there, and just pause at the top. There you go. That one was a little better. I think you're getting a little more of that leg and getting to here. And if I would say from everything we've done so far, the thing that's coming the most natural, the second half of the delivery seems pretty natural, with the exception of maybe extending the arm a little bit. The hardest part for you is kind of getting from here, using the legs, and getting here. It seems to be the more challenging. So if I were you, and I don't want to give you guys like 20 different things to work on. To me, that is the one, is getting from here, really using your upper body and your legs to get to here, to push off and get some legs into the motion. So dads are never right. Yeah. Now, with the men's game, so when I would pitch, I hopped, and most men do hop. So again, it's not the only way, but what you can do is, instead of dragging, let's do that same motion, and instead of going and dragging here, give me a little hop. Boom, just like that. Just a little hop, and you get that arm up over your head. There you go. You can take that off the ground a little bit more. Okay. So get your balance, get set. Okay. Weight back, forward, and just a little hop. Good. Now when you get to that hop, kind of just all that weight on the back foot. So a little hop, boom. Keeping the weight on that back leg. Good. Also a little more natural for you. Good. Okay. Okay. Good. All right, so how's that feel? That looks a lot more natural for you than the drag. So I think it's going to be a more natural way for you to get your legs involved in your delivery. All right. So that's probably, if I were to say what do you need to work on the most, I would say it's that one right there. It's weight back, here, boom. And just do that over and over and over again, and get that muscle memory where you're using your legs early on. Let's do a couple where you combine both the first half of what we did and the second half, which is getting from here, hesitate, follow through to the shoulder. Okay, so give me a few of those now. Again, balance, use your legs. Okay, pretty good. Pretty good for 6 weeks, man. I like it. Good. Yeah, good, good. Hopefully it was helpful.
All the guys that made him watch it.
Yeah.
I don't know what to teach him.
Yeah. So this is all repeating then for you, basically. Okay. Good. Okay. Again, the legs, I think you can continue to focus on more and more out of your legs. Take your time, get set, bend the legs, upper body, drive off, and then at the end, really focusing on following through, because right now when you're coming to the end, you're doing this. And what this does, so if that's home plate, instead of being here, you're here. This now makes you throw with a lot more arm and a lot less legs. So try and, when you get to the end, remember back to the original drills. It's here, all right? That shoulder closed, following through to the opposite shoulder. Yeah. Pretty good, pretty good. All right, do we want to mix a ball into this thing? All right. All right, Hicksy, he's ready for you. So what probably have you do is we'll get Coach Hicks here to catch for you. Probably have you throw just 10 or so, just normal, like without trying to make any adjustments from what we talked through today. And then what we'll do is probably have you do a few pitches with some of the mechanics that we talked through today. All right. So yeah, just normal, whatever you've sort of learned over the last 6 weeks. That's probably not bad for this, yep. Yep. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna pause you there. Either of you can answer. What's the one thing, what is one thing that you notice you're doing right now that was different when we kind of gone through? A little bit, and kind of the bent elbow. Your sort of short arm coming through, just reach, and not so much at the beginning, but once you get to the top and the back, sort of reaching to extend that arm, okay? Okay. That was better. Arm a little straighter, especially coming through the backside, which looks good. Tell you what, I'm impressed for 6 weeks, man. Some really good stuff there. You say you've got a bunch of other kids you're working with as well? Okay, very good.
They still have the problem for 5 in practice. A lot of them have the same thing that you're talking about.
They're here, yeah, and not here yet. And he's, obviously there's room to improve, but in general, he's kind of getting the concept of getting rotated and keeping that shoulder closed. And it kind of comes open a little early, but still, it's. I don't have another one, Hicksy. So, but yeah, I think that's a big thing, especially when they're first starting, is really to ingrain that getting closed K position, and even if they don't have to throw it hard and stuff, just to get them used to that. And that's where I like the series of drills where you're not introducing a lot of motion on the front end or the back end, and it's just sort of isolating this piece of the delivery.
Kind of hard to teach baseball players. They're like, well, it's so hard to throw. It's hard to throw, but the concept is the same. Keep your front shoulder closed.
Yep.
Just like throwing overhands.
Yep.
Straighten the arm.
So do you feel the difference when you're throwing with a straight arm versus when you bend your arm? Yeah. So yeah, especially on the back end, really want to work on straightening that arm. Okay. Okay. So another thing, so again, I think all those drills are good, and a lot of them are already in that video, and I think they're going to put a few more videos out, so you don't have to rely on remembering everything, but just kind of going back to those drills. As I see just watching you throw right now, the two things I would really focus on is getting that arm straighter and extended as you're coming through. Another thing is you're really jumping towards the first baseline as opposed to jumping towards the home plate. And I'm a big fan of getting your momentum and power going towards the plate as opposed to falling off to the side. So even if you just go half speed, really focus on going towards home plate. Better? Because if you don't have balance at the beginning or balance at the end, then something is off a little bit. And right now I feel like you're kind of off balance as you finish. So you want to have more of your momentum going to the plate, and I think better balance as you go towards home plate. Good, good. And again, whenever you're changing stuff, just go half speed. Go half speed for a bunch of reps and then slowly turn up the volume from there. But good. How's that feel? A little bit weird probably?
Yeah.
Anytime you change something, it's a little weird, but I think that looks a lot better. Again, get set. And probably want to, so as you're getting to that top, really reach for the stars, really exaggerate the extension of that arm and getting it straight all the way through the backside. Good. Very good. All right. I mean, that's really all I want to, I don't want to put too much into, too many different things to make you think about it. I think just have a few items to focus on. But for me, it's at the beginning, sort of getting that momentum from the legs and driving forward. And then also with that shoulder and for you, the big thing is that extension of your arm and keeping it nice and straight as you follow through to that shoulder. And then instead of falling off and jumping towards first base, kind of going straight. I think those are a few things to work on right now. But yeah, very cool. 14, I like it. So do you guys have other teams you can play against, or do you scrimmage against yourselves?
This Monday.
Okay.
Over here at Denmark.
Yeah.
Against 2 other teams.
Okay.
So
That's awesome.
gotta get them something to do.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a good age. Kids can still adapt pretty well at that age, so that's good. All right, I think we're good. Get any questions for me or anything else? Does it make some sense? Probably feels a little awkward at some points, but yeah, keep at it. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And you're very welcome.
What's your name, son? Carson Kadlec. What is it? Carson, nice to meet you. Greg, Dick. It's Coach McCurry. Really good. Yep, same here. Thanks for coming out. Working. Yeah, gotta start somewhere.
Thanks for watching, and we hope you found this video helpful. Now, it's up to you to get this video in the hands of as many new pitchers as possible, and breathe some new life into this game we all love.